Hello, Lad Lane Leopards. Today's matchup is Just Like Josh Gibson versus Karate Kakapo.
Just Like Josh Gibson by Angela Johnson, illustrated by Beth Peck. Grandmama says there's nothing like baseball. The story goes, Josh Gibson once hit a baseball in Pittsburgh so hard that it didn't come down. The next day he was playing in Philadelphia and the ball dropped out of the sky, right into a fielder's glove. The umpire pointed at Josh and said, "You're out yesterday in Pittsburgh." Grandmama says her papa showed up on that same day, the day she was born, with a Louisville slugger and a smile. He said his new baby would make baseballs fly, just like Josh Gibson. So Grandmama's papa threw balls to his baby girl in the early morning dew. Those summer days were like magic as the balls sailed away, gone. But girls in the 40s didn't play baseball. They weren't supposed to take the field with the boys or have batting dreams. So even when Grandmama got bigger, she still had to stand outside the fence and watch her cousin Danny and the Maple Grove All-Stars batting away. But every now and again, when the team was just practicing, they let Grandmama play too. Then Grandmama would step up to the plate, hit the ball, and watch it soar. Grandmama says Danny would imagine he was playing with the Dodgers, but she was always Josh Gibson, playing for the Grays, wearing the team colors and hitting away. Grandmama says she would play all day, with everybody saying she could do it all, hit, throw, and fly around the places. But too bad she's a girl. Too bad she's a girl. Until 2 days, hot days after the 4th of July, Danny hurt his arm sliding into second, and there were only 8 All-Stars. That afternoon, the team looked to Grandmama, pink dress with a white bow, and Danny's baseball shoes. And Grandmama says as she went to the plate, she remembered baseball has always been early morning dew and sunlight. Hitting balls with her papa and standing behind the fence, watching the boys play. The story goes, Grandmama hit the ball a mile that day, caught anything that was thrown, and did everything else, just like Josh Gibson. As she hands the ball to me, she says, "There's nothing like baseball, baby," and I couldn't help but love it, especially that one time I got to hear the cheers while stealing home. The end.
Karate Kakapo, written by Laura Dana Kunti and illustrated by Stacy Curtis. Kakapo was crazy about karate. From the time she was a kinder Kakapo, she had been interested in the martial arts. Kung Fu, Judo, Taekwondo, but karate was her favorite. She loved the blocks, the strikes, the stances, and she especially loved the super fast kicks, the side kicks, the jumping kicks, and the running kicks. The flying kicks, well, maybe not the flying kicks. Fact, Kakapos can't fly. Kakapo knew what it took to master karate, time and hard work, and she was committed. Every day she went to the dojo to practice with other students. Some days she focused on her blocks, low block, high block, rising block. Other days she concentrated on her strikes, knife hand strike, palm heel strike, elbow strike. Tomorrow was a big day for Kakapo. It was belt test day at the dojo. She was excited and she was ready. But just in case, she practiced her stances one last time before bed. ready stance, cat stance, half moon stance, crane stance. As Kakapo tried to fall asleep, she thought of her previous belt tests. That perfect block when she got her yellow belt, breaking that wooden board when she got her green belt, that swift side kick when she got her blue belt, her sparring footwork when she got her red belt. But tomorrow would be Kakapo's greatest test. She was trying for her black belt, the most difficult belt of all. She had no reason to be nervous. She had practiced as much as any bird could and had mastered all the moves. Except that one. But surely the senseis wouldn't ask her to do that. Kakapo fell asleep, hoping the senseis would remember the fact that Kakapos can't fly. The next day, the dojo was filled with nervous birds taking tests. Kakapo straightened her karate gi and waited patiently for her name to be called, all the while trying not to worry. She spread her wings wide and flapped them, hoping that the senseis would notice and be reminded that she could not actually lift off. Finally, her turn came. Kakapo bowed in front of the panel of senseis. She waited. "Please start with a running front kick," said the first sensei. She did the kick, and it was perfect. "You may proceed to a jumping back kick," said the second sensei. Kakapo jumped higher than she ever had before. "Now you may show us your side snap kick." She did it. It was flawless. It continued like that all the way through the test. Ha! Kaya! Hiya! Kakapo was on her way to a black belt. Then it happened. "Please show us your flying side kick," said the third sensei. My flying side kick?" replied Kakapo. "Yes," said the sensei. You mean the one with both feet in the air at the same time?" asked Kakapo. "Yes, the flying side kick." Kakapo began to explain. Excuse me, sensei. The thing is, well, the fact is, Kakapos can't fly." The sensei was silent. "So since I'm a Kakapo, I'm not going to be able to do that flying side kick." The sensei was still silent. It looked like Kakapo would not be getting her black belt after all. At last, the sensei spoke. "For your final test, please show us a running, jumping side kick." A running, jumping side kick? Kakapo didn't know that kick. She'd never even heard of it. Unsure of what to do, she thought about all the practice and hard work she had put in for this day. Then she made up her mind. She had to try. She raised her head proudly, yelling, "Kakapo!" as loud as she could while she ran, then jumped and side kicked at the same time. She landed in a perfect ready stance. "Wait," she said to the sensei. Did I just do a flying side kick?" The senseis were silent. And then they all smiled. Kakapo stepped forward, stretching her wings out to receive her black belt. The other students flapped and clapped, chanting, "Kakapo! Kakapo!" "Well done, Karate Kakapo," said the sensei, bowing deeply. And Karate Kakapo bowed back.
I hope you enjoyed today's video. Both books were awesome. Don't forget to vote so we know who moves on to the next round.